A very good morning, all of you. Am I audible till there? Yes? Okay. Otherwise, I'll go on saying after 10-15 minutes, I'll get to know kya bola samajh nahi aaya. Good morning, online class. We have students from Dehradun, Lucknow, Patna. Yes. And all other centers there. Yes. In the previous class, we were covering about rules, regulation, laws, conscience as a source of ethical decision making in ethics in public administration. We covered this topic: rules, regulation, conscience, laws as a source of ethical decision making. When I say the word law versus rules versus regulations and conscience, law is something that is made by very formal process. Okay, there has to be done, voting has to be done. So law banne ka process, I believe you would know that there is some proposal brought by a minister or by a private candidate, and that proposal is then debated, voted upon, then that goes to president for assent, and then a law is made. In my country, in other countries also, they have their very formal procedure of making the laws. So law goes through very formal process. Law is done mostly, generally voting is done on law. Of laws, rules, regulation and conscience, law सबसे बड़े pedestal पे. The highest pedestal is law. They are not flexible. If you punish law, it is punishable, right? So it is legally enforceable. तो law सबसे highest pedestal पे. इसके बाद आते हैं आपके rules and regulation. Both of them almost on the same pedestal. What are rules? Rules basically can be made by any department, private organization department, government departments. Your code of conduct rules, your traffic rules, even by government rules can be made. So rules can be made by any department. They are comparatively more flexible than law. Okay, both of them aim at common good. Both of them, laws and rules, both of them aim at common good and making people more ethical. बस law highest pedestal पे, second pedestal पे आपके rules हैं. What about regulations? Whenever you have to understand regulation, you recall the regulatory bodies. If you have studied regulatory bodies, and this is also a part of your GS paper 2, the regulatory bodies, enforcement agencies, ये आपके GS paper 2 का भी part है. Regulatory bodies को याद करें. Who all are the regulatory bodies? SEBI, RBI, they all are the regulatory bodies. Their function is to regulate something, regulate economy, regulate the stock market. So what is a regulation? A regulation is made by executive, the administrators. Rules is made by the department. Regulators are made by the administration or executive per se. The aim of regulation is what? Regulation को कई बार आप secondary legislations भी बोलते हो. Regulations are also called as secondary legislations. यानी the gap that was left by law, the gap that was left by a law, the gap that was left by a legislation is filled by what? Is filled by regulations. इसीलिए I said that regulation and rules are almost of the same pedestal. Laws is at the highest pedestal. At the second pedestal, either it is rules or regulations. Rules का क्या aim है? Rules का for example क्या है? Code of conduct rules. Regulations कौन बनाता है? Regulatory bodies बनाते हैं. Who all are the regulatory bodies? We have CBFCs, we have RBI, we have SEBI. These all are the regulatory bodies. What is the aim of this regulatory bodies? To regulate something, to enforce discipline, right? That आप insider trading नहीं कर सकते. You cannot indulge in windful gain if you are by insider trading. If you have some some information, you cannot indulge in windful gain. So that's the aim of regulatory body. इसके बाद आता है conscience. इसके बाद आता है conscience. अब conscience is what? It's an inner intellect that helps in decision making. Conscience is considered as something that it's a debatable concept. Should conscience be used as a source of ethical decision making? It's a debatable concept. Why it's a debatable concept? Because there are two viewpoints for conscience. One viewpoint, which is said by Immanuel Kant, says that conscience is जो आप सुनते हो अंदर से, It is the voice of the God. It's God's will. It is a moral command. तो conscience गलत नहीं होता, ये एक व्यू पॉइंट है. So you should actually listen to conscience. अगर आपको लॉ भी अच्छे से implement करना है, if you want to implement law nicely, if you implement regulation nicely, if you want to implement rules nicely, you need to have very strong conscience. तो बहुत strong conscience की जरूरत है. Then only you will be implementing these things properly. Conscience is something that is always there with you. So it is, laws cannot regulate everything, but conscience can regulate everything. So conscience is always there with you. So yes, conscience should be used as a source of ethical guidance. However, there is a contrary viewpoint which says that conscience बना किससे है? आप बोल रहे हो God will से बना है. Nothing, it's not like that. The other viewpoint says conscience is a product of the socialization. You say something is bad because you have heard, you've been classically conditioned, this is bad. If I'm continuously feeded with a negative thought, my conscience will not say that this is bad, though it can be bad. So is pe debate hai. Can we actually use conscience or not for the ethical guidance? One school says yes, it's the God's will, it is moral voice, it is moral command, it is the inner intellect that is not coming from socialization but God. And we all have some element that is of the God. Kuch element hai. That's one viewpoint. The other viewpoint is no, socialization se bana hai. It is because of the individual experiences, and therefore you should not use them as a source of ethical guidance. Overall, what should be our stand? Laws are important. Laws will create uniformity. Rules create uniformity. Regulations create stability. If I'm solely taking decision on the basis of my conscience, it can be a subjective exercise. Why? Because it differs from person to person. It can be a subjective exercise. Why? Because my conscience can differ from time to time. It can be a subjective exercise because how will you codify it? How will you regulate it? So ये बहुत subjective exercise है. So ethical guidance should not be only by conscience. Generally rules to bring uniformity, to bring discipline, generally laws and the regulations. However, in case a law is silent, in case we do not have rules, in case the regulatory body is not there, then your conscience can come into play, and that too, it should be used as per some of the universal ethics. There should not be any malified intention, right? So kya kare? Yes, we can use conscience, but when the law is silent, and we have to implement the law in a right spirit. ठीक है, अगर आप constitutional morality को upheld करेंगे, आप spirit of law को upheld करना चाहेंगे, तब आप अपना conscience लगाएं, right? Is it fine, all of you? So these are the source of ethical guidance. Should conscience be used? Yes, but when? To what extent? With what intention? That is the purpose. What was the last topic that we did? Then we move on to accountability. इसके बाद हमने accountability देखा. Accountability is nothing but answerability, where you have to answer for whatever acts that you have done. A civil servant has to be accountable for the acts he or she is doing. One. Second point here is there can be various types of accountability. The types of accountability, it can be formal accountability, it can be informal accountability. There was traditional accountability and contemporary accountability. Traditional accountability was more about the formal organizations. It was more about CVC, CAG, courts, NHRC seeking accountability from the civil servants. Now the contemporary accountability is from various tools like right to information, social audit, citizen charters. They are also seeking accountability. When I talk about, this was the traditional and the contemporary accountability. Then we moved on to understanding formal and informal accountability. Formal accountability, again, the mechanisms of the RTI and the CVC and CAG, all the formal accountability and the legals and the procedural norms there. As far as informal accountability is concerned, now informal accountability has been come in the form of, I think you might have not written this, 360 degree appraisal. Just 360 degree, the person is under, that the appraisal has to be given by everybody, not just the seniors. It is also juniors, colleagues, peers. That is also informal accountability. Then we moved on to understanding that why are we not able to extract as much accountability as we should from the civil servant. The reason is we are not able to extract. Okay, fine. Yes, I will do that. I will make you right only, Malay. Okay. Why are we not able to extract as much accountability as we can from the civil servants? Because even if you have passed laws, even if you have passed the citizen charter, but then they are being defeated in spirit. That means you do not keep PIOs, public information officers. You do not appoint lokpal. आपने act तो pass कर दिया, but आपने concerned person को appoint नहीं किया. So that is one issue, that there is a decline in the standards of accountability. So there is lack of, even the laws, rules, regulations, they are old and complex. They are not updated properly. So it becomes difficult to seek accountability. There is a perception that honest are, punished, whereas the corrupts are rewarded. So there is a perception that why should I even hold accountability? There is also colonial hangover. अभी भी secrecy को रखना चाहते हैं, अभी भी वो power अपने हाथ में रखना चाहते हैं. So this is one of the issue. Colonial mindsets, colonial hangover still exist. The attitudinal issues हैं. No matter what you say, few of them are doing good works, but then few of them are also there which would make sure that power अपने हाथ में है. तो elite अभी भी colonial hangover है, अभी भी attitudinal issues हैं, which is not leading to fulfilling as much of accountability or extracting as much accountability as it should have been, right? So yes, please tell me. Yes. Yes. ज़्यादा आपका एक्शन विल नॉट बी, यू कैन से दैट इट इज अनएथिकल बिकॉज एथिक्स इज इंटेंट ओरिएंटेड. अगर आपका इंटेंट खराब है, तो अगर आपका इंटेंट खराब है तो फिर बोल देंगे कि हाँ एथिक्स के परव्यू में भी आ रहा है, कि यू आर, आपके अंदर रैंडम थॉट्स आ रहे हैं. दैट डज नॉट मीन कि तुम्हारा इंटेंट खराब हो गया. यू आर कंफ्यूज्ड. देयर इज सम क्राइसिस ऑफ कॉन्साइंस दैट यू आर अनेबल टू चूज प्रोबेबली राइट और रॉन्ग. तो क्राइसिस ऑफ कॉन्साइंस है कि क्या सही है क्या गलत है. बट अगर इंटेंट खराब नहीं है तो अनएथिकल नहीं बोलेंगे. अभी भी तुम डिबेट ही कर रहे हो, राइट? यू स्टिल सी, आई टेल यू, देयर आर 4 स्टेजेस. देयर आर 4 स्टेजेस ऑफ इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस. एक स्टेज होती है, दिस इज गिवन बाय मेयर एंड सैलोवे. दे सेट 4 ब्रांच मॉडल है. एथिकल, आप इमोशनली इंटेलिजेंट कैसे बनते हो? तो उन्होंने चार मॉडल जो दिया था, ये आई जस्ट मेक यू राइट दिस, मतलब गिव यू सम आइडिया अबाउट इट. दिस वाज कॉल्ड एज इमोशनल परसेप्शन. एक स्टेज होती है इमोशनल परसेप्शन की, ठीक है. सेकंड स्टेज होती है इमोशनल एसिमिलेशन की, इमोशन एसिमिलेशन. थर्ड स्टेज इज इमोशनल अंडरस्टैंडिंग. एंड द लास्ट स्टेज अकॉर्डिंग टू मेयर एंड सैलोवे इज इमोशनल, व्हाट डू यू से, मैनेजमेंट. इमोशनल, यस करेक्ट, इमोशनल मैनेजमेंट. ठीक है. परसेप्शन यानी क्या? यू आर सेल्फ अवेयर ऑफ योर इमोशंस एंड यू आर एबल टू एक्सप्रेस देम प्रॉपरली. आपको पता है कि हाउ आर यू फीलिंग, यू आर सेल्फ अवेयर एंड यू आर एबल टू एक्सप्रेस देम प्रॉपरली. बट एक इमोशंस तो होते नहीं. There are many emotions that can come. Sometime you might feel guilty, sometime you might feel angry, sometime you might feel disgusted. Same situation pe Arjun, Lord Arjun, right? He was feeling a lot of emotions. He was able to know what, he was aware of his emotions and was even able to express properly to Lord Krishna. However, he knew that it is not one emotion. There are many emotions and these many emotions are dominating the thought process. What should I do? Should I fight? Should I not fight? Should I fight for my kingdom? What should be done for the justice of the citizen? Should I fight against my own relatives? They are my brothers. We have eaten food together. We've been together. So there are many emotions, and what all are dominating the thought process? One thought process is I should not fight because I feel emotionally attached to my sisters and brothers. The other is I should fight because what about the justice to the citizen? I should fight what about the justice to the kingdom, right? Then it was about emotional understanding. So he understood that the emotions are a complex. The emotions are complex. They're complex, and he could also understand the transition from one emotion to another. There is transition that is happening. It is here where Lord Krishna starts playing his role. He knows emotions, he's self-aware, he can express one. He also knows that what is the thought process being dominated by what emotion. And he also knows that he's transiting from one emotion. Sometimes this appears to be good, sometimes that appears to be good, sometimes that appears to be good. Okay. And the fourth one is, here this comes the stage of emotional intelligence, where a person is able to detach himself from all the emotions. And he is able to detach, and he can carefully observe those emotions without taking any actions. He is now carefully aware that this is my management, that I feel multitude of emotions. I want to do this, and I am not even passing a judgment on any emotion. So, sthit prajna kehte hain. If you have heard this word. Sthit means stable. Prajna means wisdom. A person who is stable and wise. तो ये स्टेज होती है. तो आपको बहुत सारे इमोशंस है, आपकी बहुत सारी चीजें चल रही हैं, बट आपका इंटेंशन मैलिफाइड नहीं है, तो आपको आपके एक्ट को अनएथिकल नहीं बोलेंगे, राइट? इफ यू वुड हैव heard this poem, कृष्ण की चेतावनी, has anybody heard this poem? तो गीता तीन ही चीज बोलती है. इंडियन फिलोसोफर्स पढ़े, गीता talks about only three things. भगवद गीता says that desire, lust and anger, they make a person delusional. Desire, lust and anger make a person delusional. And when a person becomes delusional, he is not able to differentiate right or wrong. So it's desire, anger and hate, desire, anger and lust. It was not like that Ravan was not a, not a intellect. He was a very strong intellect. He had studied Vedas. He was worshipper of Shiva, Shivji. However, when he was under the influence of desire for someone's wife, he lost his sense of what is right and wrong. So Gita says, Bhagavad Gita says that same thing that would happen what? Duryodhan. Anger, desire, anger. So these three things makes a person delusional. ये गीता बोलती है एक चीज. तो करना क्या चाहिए? You should be emotionally intelligent. How can you be emotionally intelligent? You should not desire for anything. What should be done then? You should work. There should be devotion to duty. There should be what? निष्काम कर्म. तो तीन ही चीजें हैं. आपका अगर डिजायर है, आपका एंगर है, आपका if you have desire, anger and lust, you will lose your sense of right or wrong. You will become delusional. What should be done? A person should be emotionally intelligent. How do I become emotionally intelligent? I should only focus on my work and not the fruits of the work. So it's like competence के पीछे भागो, कामयाबी झक मार के पीछे आएगी, right? So just go on doing your work. Just go on doing your work. ठीक है? ठीक है? Yes. कर साक्षी भाव, to observe things as they are. To observe the things. Do not attach, detach. Do not attach any value judgment. Detach yourself from this, from your emotions. That was the final stages. Okay. If you would have heard this Krishna ki Chetavani, I'm revising this poem every every time wherever I can, because it's touched me so much. It says that it's in Hindi, so I'll have to say in Hindi only. I'll try to give the translation in English. It was like that. सबको सुमर्ग पे लाने को, to bring everybody on the path of righteousness, सबको सुमर्ग पे लाने को, दुर्योधन को समझाने को, मैत्री की राह बताने को, भीषण ध्वंस बचाने को, मतलब to not so that there should not be a fight, भगवान हस्तिनापुर आए, पांडव का संदेशा लाए, दे दो न्याय तो आधा दो, यदि इसमें भी कोई बाधा हो तो दे दो केवल 5 ग्राम, रखो अपनी धरती तमाम। दुर्योधन ये भी ना दे पाया, आशीष समाज की ना ले पाया, जब नाश मनुष्य पर छाता है, पहले विवेक मर जाता है। It's like that there was a fight for the property. So God came to Hastinapur to give the message of friendship, to make the world go to the path of righteousness. They said, the Lord said that if you want to do justice, then you should divide half. There should be half division, the property divisions. However, Duryodhan could not give this. So he said that if you cannot give this, give us only five villages for 5 Pandavas. 5 villages. We will be happy there. But he could not even give that much. It's like when your bad time comes, the first thing that dies is your conscience. The first thing that dies is the conscience. You become delusional. You are not able to distinguish between right and wrong. Right? So this is emotional intelligence. This is Bhagavad Gita. This is about your emotional management and various other things. We were talking about how do rules, regulation, conscience and laws, they act as a source of ethical decision making. Moving on, one of you have told me to make you write the difference between laws and rules. Malai, we have not written the difference between laws and rules. Please write this then, the difference between laws and rules. The difference between laws and rules. The laws, they are codified. Laws जो होते हैं codified होते हैं. And breaking a law can have legal consequences. Breaking a law can have legal consequences. Laws. What about the rules? They are more flexible. They are more flexible. And breaking a rule can have disciplinary action. Breaking a rule can have disciplinary action. Breaking a rule can have disciplinary action. About the laws, they are passed through formal process. They are passed via a formal process. Such as voting, there is voting and assent. But formal process होता है, voting होता है, assent होता है, etc. Whereas rules, they are easy to update. And establish. इसको easily update कर सकते हैं, इसको easily establish कर सकते हैं. Laws, they are made by the legislature or a supreme. They are made by legislature or supreme command. Legislature या supreme command इनको बनाते हैं. Whereas rules, they can be made by any organization or department. Can be made by any organization or departments. Private entities भी बना सकते हैं. And even private entities. Laws, they are inflexible and they have stricter penalties. They are inflexible they are inflexible and have stricter penalties. Strict penalty होती है इनकी. Whereas this, they are more flexible. The rules, they are more flexible and have less strict consequences. Disciplinary action हो जाएगा, आपको जेल में नहीं डाल देंगे. They will not put you in jail. If you violate code of conduct rules, they cannot put you in jail. They can actually have discipline. You can have disciplinary action, right? As per personal laws, so there are certain personal laws, right, governing the marriages, the elements of divorce. Whether your marriage and everything is as per personal law or not, that also comes under code of conduct rules. So if your personal laws doesn't allow for more than one marriage, right, and if you indulge in that, उसके against भी आपके against disciplinary action हो जाता है. फिर आपको services से कुछ time के लिए they can remove you from the giving these services to the government. So everything is even it's maybe flexibility है, but ये भी अपना regulate तो करते हैं, behavior तो काफी अच्छे से regulate करते हैं, especially the code of conduct rules. We've already seen that. ठीक है? That's good, Hema. That's very good. So we were dealing with this. Then please write about accountability. लिख लिया है. The breakdowns of accountability. We've also written about the breakdown of accountability or the factors which affects the seeking accountability. The factors that restricts the seeking accountability. Give the heading governance. Give the heading governance. We will look into governance, good governance, ethical governance. We've already हमने थोड़ा बहुत डिस्कशन कर ही लिया था कि क्या गुड गवर्नेंस होता है, क्या एथिकल गवर्नेंस होता है. We'll write about it now. Governance is basically the manner in which power is exercised. The manner in which the power is exercised in dealing with the manner in which the power is exercised while dealing with countries' economic and social resources. कंट्री के सोशल रिसोर्स है, इकोनॉमिक रिसोर्सेज, उसको कैसे आप डील करते हैं. दैट इज हाउ द डिसीजंस आर टेकन. इट इन्वॉल्व्स हाउ डिसीजंस आर टेकन, कैसे डिसीजन ले रहे हैं, हाउ डिसीजंस आर इम्प्लीमेंटेड, how can we create desired change, while you are managing countries' economic resources, while you are managing countries' social resources, how are you taking your decisions? How are you implementing those decisions? Okay, what can you further do to bring a good change in the society? That is called as governance. My question is governance only the business of government, only the prerogative of government? It is not only the prerogative of government. It is said that governance is too serious a business. अब इसको business को economic terms में ना ले. Business मतलब job. Governance is too serious a business to be done by government alone. मतलब सिर्फ government decision नहीं लेगी, सिर्फ government नहीं बताएगी कि कैसे decision implement करें. It is all the other players in the country, like civil society organization, like NGOs, like media. they also should take part in governance. Only then our governance will become active governance and not passive governance. Monologue nahi hai. That government hi bata rahi hai. So please write that governance, it is considered that. It is considered that apart from a government, private players, civil society, market, NGOs, media, and various other pressure groups, can play an active role, in governance. Then you can write the quote that governance is too serious a business. Governance is too serious a business to be left to government alone. It is too serious a business to be left to government alone. That means there should be multiple stakeholders: government, civil society, private organization, citizens. What is, in short, governance means the act of making the decision and the act of implementing the decision. Agar choti koi definition likhni ho, you can also write about this, that simply government means a process of policy making and implementation. Policy making, you make policy and you implement the policy. Policy making and policy implementation. Yes. क्या पार्ट लिखा तो है? सिविल सोसाइटी, सिटीजन, सिविल, राइट? लिख लो, अगर अलग से लिखना है तो सिटीजन्स भी लिख लो, बट सिटीजन्स का मतलब सिविल सोसाइटी में ही आ जाता है, राइट? How many of you feel that I write very fast? How many of you feel that I write very fast? I have been told by few people, please थोड़ा slow लिखा करो. How many of you feel I write very fast? Come on, be honest. Ethical test. 1. Only 1, 2, 3. This is what UPSC does to you. Okay? When you write for so many, and this is what will happen to you also. जब दिन भर लिखोगे, right? When you will write, 2 things will happen. Your handwriting will turn like me. I will not say bad. I'll not say bad. Okay, that will be too uncharitable. Bad नहीं, worse बोल सकते हो. It will turn like this. And second is, if you know about doctors, their handwriting also goes, because itna continuously you write, and you write very fast. Over the time, that will happen to you also. At least जब mains लिखना होता है, right? वो 3 घंटे में कुछ नहीं समझ आता है. वो सिर्फ पता हो 3 hours you only know that you have to write and complete the paper. You know how many pages you have to write in 3 hours? How many sides they give you to write? How many sides they give you to write? Yes, fixed होता है. Every space is fixed. There is a question paper that is written. Question paper is written and you get, yes, 50 sides. 50 sides in 3 hours. If you go back home and see how many sides do you write in class for 2.5 hours, I don't think it will be more than 12. And mostly our time goes into dictation. It will not be more than 12, 13. So इसका 3 गुना लिखना होगा. ठीक है? Even it is 13, it is around 3 to 3.5 times that you will have to write in your examination. So pick up speed, right? I totally understand some of you are very new in the preparation, but then reality check यही है, ठीक है? Moving on. Governance, I said. What are the type of governance? Write the heading. Type of governance. The type of governance. Type of governance. So you can have corporate governance, international governance, national governance, local governance, international governance, national governance, local governance, corporate governance. This is a topic in your syllabus. Corporate governance is a topic in the syllabus. Ethical issues in the international relation is also a topic in the syllabus. Okay. So the type of governance. Right. Then write the term next. Good governance. Good governance. When the governance, that is policy making and policy implementation, when the governance or when policy making and policy implementation, when policy making and policy implementation, when policy making and policy implementation are carried with due concerns, with due concern and values like transparency, accountability, responsiveness, etc. जब आप policy make, when you're doing such policy or making such policy or implementing policies which take into concerns the needs of the others, along with it upholds certain values like this, etc. It is called as good governance. It is called as good governance. Okay. What are the criteria? World Bank has given 8 criteria. The World Bank mentions about the 8 criteria. Good governance as per World Bank. What is good governance as per World Bank? You can write good governance. What is good governance as per World Bank? What is good governance as per World Bank? The first one, participation. Good governance में क्या values होनी चाहिए? Participation. There should be accountability. Responsiveness. Government should be responsive. There should be a transparency. It should be consensus oriented. The decision should be consensus based, consensus oriented. Should uphold the principles of equity and inclusiveness. Government should be efficient and it also should be effective. It also should be effective. I remember the short form PART: participative, accountability, responsiveness, transparency. C, E cube: consensus oriented, efficiency, effectiveness, equity and inclusiveness. ठीक है. What happens is with mnemonic is अगर सारे याद भी नहीं आते हैं, if you do not remember all of them, at least you remember majority of them. Then you know that PART था, participation, accountability, responsiveness, transparency. Then CE cube था, C से consensus oriented. E एक तो याद आएगा, या तो equity आ जाएगा, या efficiency याद आ जाएगा, या effectiveness आ जाएगा. So at least not 8, at least you can write 6, 7. So this is what happens when you use the short forms and mnemonics. You now know Indocity, CO Halo, JFPT, something that you now would have known by now. So 8 criteria is participation, accountability, responsiveness, transparency, consensus oriented decision making, efficiency, equity, and effectiveness. Okay, these are the 8 criteria that World Bank has given. I will write some of them. In participation means what? Participation. Participation basically refers to involvement of the civil society and citizens in decision making. Involvement of civil society, involvement of a civil society and citizens in decision making. Involvement of civil society and citizens in the decision making. What is, now think about it, I'm just brainstorming. What is the importance of participation? क्यों होना चाहिए participation? Importance of participation. What will participation do? Okay, fine. Innovative governance, fine. Innovative governance. It is about building the trust. Involving citizen will build the trust. Build the trust of the citizen in administration. बताइए आगे. Yes. So from representative democracy we can become participative democracy by facilitating participation. What does local self-governance do? Just not representative democracy. Representative democracy means you choose somebody to represent you in the parliament. That is representative. You are selecting your representatives. It's not simply about representative democracy anymore. Now you are an active participant. So the democracy becomes representative to participative democracy. So it facilitates the transition from representative democracy to a participative democracy. लोकल सेल्फ गवर्नमेंट का भी यही आइडिया कि लोग पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में, लोग पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे डेमोक्रेसी में. इज रिप्रेजेंटेटिव डेमोक्रेसी बैड? नो, इट इज नॉट बैड. मोनार्की से तो कई ज्यादा अच्छी है. एटलीस्ट आई एम चूजिंग माई रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स. बट देन मोर देन दैट, इफ आई स्टार्ट पार्टिसिपेटिंग, राइट? और अदर इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ गवर्नेंस फिर से बोलिए प्लीज. ठीक है, फाइन. यस, कॉम्पिटिशन. हाँ, कोऑपरेशन. ठीक है, कोऑपरेशन. एनीबडी एल्स? Checks and balances, very good. Checks and balances. Checks and balances. And you can club checks and balances by feedback. By feedbacks from the citizens. Example, if you know that कभी भी जब draft, जब भी acts आते हैं, right? जब भी policies आती हैं. So there are draft policies that are put in the internet to ask for citizens' feedback. There are Twitters, right? Twitter pe the citizens' views are asked on the policies of the government. Feedbacks are asked. They can mention that the citizens' views on the draft acts, draft policies. Example, here you can also write local self-governance. LSGs means local self-governance. The draft policies and citizens' feedback. You know about community policing? You know what is community policing? ये जो आप चल रहे हैं, आपने हेलमेट नहीं पहना और anybody can click the picture and upload on the portal. right? Anybody can click the picture that you have broke a signal and upload it on the portal. What is this? The policing is being now done by the community. The community is now with proof telling that I am trying to be a change agent, I am trying to implement the policies, I am trying to give the feedbacks to the government. So these all are what? Your participation, they facilitate participation, the democracy. Okay. Oh. Moral policing is that Valentine's Day पे गए और मार खा के आए. ठीक है? That is moral policing. You don't judge my morality of live-in relation is wrong. Don't judge my morality on the basis of having an affair is wrong. ठीक है? वो community policing over the time can also become moral policing. कि society अपनी morality आप पे impose कर रही है. Don't impose your morality. I have a different set of standards. That does not mean I can break signal. Right? So moral policing पे debate है कि कितना to what extent can society impose its morality on my own. ठीक है? Over the time, community ही धीरे धीरे they will try to also impose their morality on you. It is related to policing only, no? Policing, but who is doing the policing? Acha, you are saying moral policing is not related to the police system. It is about your society. Even one moral policing दो terms में, दो context में use होता है. एक context में इसलिए भी use होता है that it is not just police should not simply implement law and order. Police का additional responsibility भी होता है to be a change agent. So if you would have heard about the concept of open jail, have you heard about these concept open jail, right? It's there in Pune also, it's there, wherein what is happening is when you actually hear the word jail, what kind of images that come in our mind is you have high big walls, there are barricades, there are barbed wires, that's what comes, right? If a person, let's say if a juvenile or if a person has done theft, a small petty theft, now if you put this person in jail, okay, if you put this person in jail, there is a high probability that this person can come out and become a hardened criminal. ये अंदर सुनेगा, अंदर की चीजें देखेगा, वहां पे there is no proper facility, you've put him in jail, if this person will meet in contact with the other prisoners, there's a high possibility that this person can become a hardened criminal. So there is a concept that has come that is called as the open jail. Open jail is where the individuals can live with their family. The individuals, there are no high walls, there are no barbed wires, right? It is aiming at what? It is aiming at reforming, right? So that is one aspect of that. Police should not only be a strict implementer of the law and order. Police has an additional duty to bring a change in the society. Involvement of police in other things, उसको भी moral policing कहते हैं कि पुलिस को एक moral heart होना चाहिए, should also have a heart, because that also relieves stress from the police personnel. Working in police is not a very easy job. It's a field job. Police has to be on duty 24/7. Police has to be on duty even when there are festivals, right? Police has to be on duty with there are a lot of police personnel shortage. Okay, KT Thomas committee, if you would know, उन्होंने बताया कि कितना shortage है पुलिस में, and especially at the higher echelons. तो पुलिस पे भी बहुत pressure है, तो उनको भी जब आप बाकी चीजों में and they deal, if you would have Delhi crimes अगर सुना होगा तो somebody has seen Delhi crime, that the last statement she makes, 99% in society, 99% people in society are good, but the problem is police has to deal with that 1%. So every time looking into crimes, every time looking into the bloodshed or something leaves a very bad psychological impact. So even police, to relieve their stress, they would want to indulge into activities which they feel can bring a change in the heart of the citizens, can change in the mindset and the life of the citizen. So that उस context में भी moral policing use होती है, that police should also be involved in the you should involve police into other activities also, building schools, midday meal schemes पे, ठीक है, happiness curriculum में कहीं तो police का involvement रखें. एक वो होता है moral policing, that is the positive idea. The other moral policing is society trying to impose, it is trying to police my morality. Don't try to police my morality. It is my set of standard. You don't tell me whether live-in relation is bad, you don't tell me whether LGBT is bad. उस context में भी moral policing term होता है. Community policing जो होते हैं बात कर रहे हैं, community policing मैं उस context में बात कर रही हूँ, the first context में, wherein police are a part of community. Police wants to bring a change in the community. There is active involvement of the police in the community development, as well as there are some powers that are given to the community to tell that this is a wrong act, to tell that this is a, for example, आपने signal break कर दिया तो आप फोटो खींच के डाल दें अपने, that's what citizens do, right? That was beach mein aisa, it was there that you could upload in the picture that this person has broken the signal with a number plate, should it be there, and it should be clear picture that can be uploaded on the portal, helping the police to change the communities, to bring a positive change in the societies also. Coming back, so this is the importance of participation. You have lot of power in your hand. Example of participation, participatory policies, you can also write about the RTI. You can also write about the social audit. You know about in Meghalaya, right? In Meghalaya, there is that 100% of the government schemes have to be socially audited. So MG Narega, maybe social audit ka MG Narega. And in Meghalaya, you have the social audit law. Meghalaya, social audit law, right? This is about the participation. Participation also upholds the principles of, principle of social contract. जिसके लिए पॉलिसी बनाना चाह रहे हो उसका तो फीडबैक ले लो. Social contract. You can also write an example of mygov.in. mygov.in. mygovernance.in. When government try to take the feedback from the citizen. Privacy does not mean that you can take law in your hand. If I am breaking the law, then I cannot say कि मेरी privacy है. फोटो में नंबर प्लेट और सिग्नल ही दिखना चाहिए ना. हेलमेट नहीं पहना तीसरा क्राइम है. You've not worn helmet, that is the third crime. Right? So now what privacy? Now what privacy? So this has been done, yes. You cannot break the law and say privacy. Privacy starts, I will criticize government when the government tries to get into my private life. Regulating that how many children should I have. Regulating that what should be the spacing between my children. That is not for the government to decide. That is against privacy. Telling me किसके साथ relation रखें, that is not for the government to decide. वहाँ पे privacy rights की बात करो. But बोलो कि मैं law break कर रहा हूँ और मेरी privacy हो रही है. Break ऐसे नहीं बोलो. मतलब वहाँ तो helmet नहीं पहना है तो तीसरा crime है वो. ठीक है? Moving, and you're talking about in the age of social media, wherein people display their private life on the internet. Free में मिल रही है. ठीक है? Yes, Mahesh, you can say that. Yes, you can say that. Moving on, accountability. So we said accountability. Accountability was the second one as per the principles of good governance. First one was participation. World Bank ने बोला है. Second one is accountability. Give the heading. Second is the accountability. Accountability हम लोग ने पूरा लिख लिया है. We have written about accountability. What is accountability? What are the types of accountability? Why do you think there is problem in seeking accountability or extracting accountability? There is loopholes in the law. The laws are not updated. The enforcement mechanisms are not proper. So that is about the second dimension, accountability. So I'm not writing here about accountability because we've already written about it. The third one is the rule of the law. The rule of the law. रूल ऑफ लॉ भी लिखा होगा, नहीं लिखा है? हैव यू नॉट रिटन रूल ऑफ लॉ? ओके, वो भी है। फिर इफेक्टिवनेस और एफिशिएंसी को साथ में रखो एंड कीप रूल ऑफ लॉ. रूल ऑफ लॉ इज ऑल्सो देयर. ठीक है, you also have rule of the law. PART 3 E square R. E क्यूब लिखा था ना, CE क्यूब लिखा था. इफेक्टिवनेस और एफिशिएंसी को साथ में रख लें और आप रूल ऑफ लॉ भी रखें. ठीक है, rule of law. What is rule of law? Please write. What is rule of law? Anybody? Who gave the concept of this? Written में कौन? A.V. Dicey सुना? A.V. Dicey. Be you ever so high, the law is always above you. Right? No matter how high you are, the law is always above you. Rule of law means law is supreme. You are a king or you are a peasant. If you have broken a law, you will be punished for it. Be you ever so high, the law is always above you. Okay? Please write that everybody is equal in the eyes of the law. Everybody is equal in the eyes of the law. Everybody is equal in the eyes of the law. Yes, correct, Harshit. Irrespective of the status. Irrespective of the status. Actually, before rule of law, there was one saying, I might have told you, before rule of law actually came into being. It was saying, show me the person, I will tell you the law. Show me the person, I will tell you the law. So if a person is, and it was said that all are equals, but some are more equal than others. Okay, so all are equal, some are more equal than the others. Basically, I'm saying that if you are powerful, you can get concessions. There can be favoritism, there can be nepotism, there can be corruption. To avoid all this, to bring stability in the administration, to enforce, to retain the trust of the citizen in the administration, right? Then came the rule of the law. Abhi aapko pata hoga, kuch time pehle, there was famous film stars and the drug issues was there, right? So it should not appear to people that he's a son of a big man, so he'll be escaped. Obviously, he'll not be made a scapegoat. He's a son of a big man, and therefore, do you think he'll be in jail also? That's not even possible. That should not happen. If that happens, citizens would develop a feeling that just because I am not influential, I don't have power, money, I can be put in jail. This is also shown in this movie. There are movies that if you would have seen this irregular tribe movie, Jai Bhim. How many of you have seen this movie, Jai Bhim? Right? That who are put into jail? किस पे crime लगता है? जिस पे those who don't have power, those who do not have power, those who do not have money to influence the system. So does this still happen? I would not deny it completely, but that is what we aim to do. No, we don't aim to do that because we have rule of the law. We aim to say that no matter who you are, if you have broken the law, you will be punished. That's what is written on paper. That's what has to be done. But whether it is being done or not will depend on who is sitting on the seat there. So यहाँ पे अब आता है आपका conscience that whether are you implementing the rule in the spirit or not. That is about, the concept is we should punish the one who is guilty, no matter whether we will not be influenced by कि इसकी जेब में कितना पैसा है, उससे influence नहीं होंगे हम. But ये actually होता है कि नहीं, ये depend करेगा who is acquiring the seat of the power. Because it is said by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, that even if he gives us the best of the constitution, the implementation of the constitution would depend on who is in the seat of the power. So if even if the constitution is bad, but a person who is acquiring the seat, even if the constitution is very good, but a person who is acquiring the seat is bad, then the implementation would become bad. So एक quote आपका पूछा हुआ था, they've asked in the essay or ethics paper that the character of the institution is reflected by the character of the leader. Still today, if I talk about E. Sridharan sir, there are 3 qualities that he said. The first thing he said, ethics in work is not an option, it is compulsion. You have to have very strong work ethics. The second is punctuality. He was known for his punctuality. And the third was dedication to duty. The ethics of workplace, punctuality and dedication to duty. Still today you see that there is punctuality of metro. So the character of the institution is determined by the character of the leader. Who has built it? This was asked in your essay. The character of the nation would be determined by who has built it. We have been built on the platform of non-violence. We have been built the seeds of non-violence, the seed of truth, the seed of where Gandhiji mentioned that there should be no politics. There should be politics without principle is a sin. So we would want that politics with principle should be done, not politics without principle. So we have been sowed those seeds and we evaluate accordingly. So that is the whole point कि rule of law और उसका idea क्या है. Please write about this. The rule of the law. Everybody is equal in the eyes of the law, irrespective of the status. That is, nobody is above the law. Nobody is above the law, and everybody is bound by law. And everybody is bound by the law. What is the importance of rule of law? क्या करना चाहता है? Trust of the citizen. Okay, fine. Anything else? Promotion of equality. Very good. Article 14 to Article. Keep a check on government. ठीक है, right? Write about it. Consistency रहेगा in the governance process. Chaos नहीं बचेगा. So you can have the बाकी सारे points जो accountability के हैं, you can write that. Whatever are the participative, you can write it here. I'm writing some extra points. This will promote equality. Equality. Especially among equals. As in, this was about the equality principle of John Rawls, right? Ki equal should be treated equally, unequals cannot be treated equally. जो unequals हैं, there should be given positive affirmation. They should be given more incentive to come to the pedestal of equality, right? तो equals जो रहेंगे उसको equally treat करो, जो unequals हैं, जो marginalized section है, उसको आप अलग से preferential treatment दो. So it will promote equality, especially under the equal circumstances. ऐसे लिखें, especially under equal circumstances. Equal circumstances. The second one, it will ensure consistency in governance. Fair and legal framework are enforced impartially. Impartiality भी लाएगा ये, ठीक है? That everybody is equal, especially in the equal circumstances. Corrupt practices are punished irrespective of the status in the society. Corrupt practices are punished irrespective of the status in a society. It will ensure independence of judiciary. Judiciary bhi is not influenced by who is in the position of power, but judiciary is influenced by what does the law say, what does the rule say. Okay, independence of judiciary. Okay, all of you clear? Especially in Delhi, you will hear this. It is important to be in connection with those who are in power. This is a seat of power, right? In Delhi, people have this mindset. Either you should have money, or you should have, or should you should be in association with the power. And in Delhi, this happens. Everybody somebody knows somebody else. ये मिनिस्टर, वो मिनिस्टर, वो मिनिस्टर, वो मिनिस्टर, सबकी कुछ ना कुछ किसी से पहचान है. प्रॉब्लम यही है कि those who are in the not so elite sections, middle class, they feel that we are being, we do not have power, we do not even have money, we pay taxes. This is the debate that generally goes on in the middle class and upper middle class families, that we pay taxes, we are the one who जो French Revolution के time पे हुआ था, we pay taxes, we are the one who is running the system, but we do not have that much power, we do not have that much of money, and therefore we are being taken for a ride. That's what is the mindset here. That should not be the mindset. People should have faith in that the rule of the law would be implemented. If somebody has done something wrong, he or she would be punished, irrespective of the status. Yes, it's everywhere. Probably my connection has been more in Delhi for 11 years. I keep on hearing this, especially from the landlords, those who talk about, those who are outside, ki ये गवर्नमेंट ऐसी है, वो गवर्नमेंट ऐसी है, व्हाट हैव वी गॉट. दे आल्सो गो टू द एक्सटेंट कि इससे अच्छा तो चाय वाला बिजनेस कर लेते हैं, पैसे भी बचते हैं, टैक्स भी देना नहीं पड़ता है. यू हियर दीज आर्ग्यूमेंट्स आल्सो. ठीक है, मूविंग ऑन. सो वी डिड पार्टिसिपेशन, अकाउंटेबिलिटी, रूल ऑफ लॉ. द फोर्थ वन इज ट्रांसपेरेंसी. They can also ask you importance of these values. Okay, what is the definition of it and what is the importance of each one of them. Being transparent means being open. Transparent is being open about the decision making. Being open about the decision making. Being open about the decision making and ensuring that the information is easy to access. Information is easy to access. Information is easy to access and is easily available. Information is easy to access and is easily available. What is the importance of transparency? कैसे? तो ये तो डायलेमा हो जाती है कि ट्रांसपेरेंट रहे कि एफिशिएंट रहे. We've also seen this, right? Accountability देखी, efficiency रखें. Fairness, fine, yes. Fairness, citizens trust. Accountability can be sought from the government. Transparency है तो accountability can be sought, RTI. Yeah, yes. Corruption कम हो जाएगा, nepotism, favoritism कम हो जाएगा, because transparent decision making लेना है तो you will be having less of this vices. So it helps in reduction of corruption. Helps in reduction of corruption. Helps in reduction of the corruption. You would have heard this quote: corruption thrives in secret places and avoids open places. Woodrow Wilson का quote है that corruption thrives in secret places and avoids open places. Something is kept in open, you will not indulge in corruption. It helps in promoting accountability, inclusivity, promotion of accountability, inclusivity. Decision making, better decision making. Better decision making. Prevents misallocation of the resources. Misallocation of resources. Ma'am, क्या ये accountability में नहीं करेगा? करेगा. But I don't want to repeat the points. I want that, and you can interchangeably use it. That's not a issue. Avoids misallocation of the resources. Strengthens the democratic values. Whatever democratic values that we have, that decision should not benefit only few. It should be equality. It should be about being open, promotion of the multiple viewpoints. आपकी decision making में examples क्या लिख सकते हैं? You can write about RTI, citizen charter, e-governance. RTI examples can be RTI, citizen charter. It can be e-governance, whatever e-governance that you have. एक एग्जाम्पल आप ये भी लिख सकते हैं EPDS of छत्तीसगढ़. EPDS of Chhattisgarh, where everything is digitized and every information is in the public domain. Very transparent system. ठीक है? Can I move on? So we've done participation, accountability, rule of law, transparency. The fifth one, that is about consensus oriented decision making. सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबकी आइडियाज ले, सबके हिसाब से आप डिसीजन मेकिंग करें. और एक दिन ₹100 के नोट बंद है. ठीक है? कंसेंसस ओरिएंटेड डिसीजन मेकिंग. It means that decision should be taken. A decision. Some of you will come after the class and ask me, why did you make that statement? Decision should be taken by building the consensus. By building the consensus. Actually, it's fair also. You cannot take decision on this basis. No, should I actually stop 100 rupee note? Should I actually stop 500 rupees note? You cannot take consensus there. To clean the system, you have to take radical actions also. To clean the system, you have to make efforts also. Not all the decisions can be consensus oriented. That has to be understood. The wisdom says that you need to give the benefit of doubt where it is due. Trying to balance out. Decision should be taken by building the consensus. The governance should take the viewpoint. Governance should take the viewpoints of all the sections of the society. And all the stakeholders should be a part of the process. Should be a part of the process. what is the importance of the consensus oriented, वो ये सब है. Transparency का जो है, accountability का जो है, almost all the same. Participation के ही, whatever you have the points, the same points as participation. And you can also write that different interests are, different ideas are taken into decision making. You can simply write that different interest are catered to, different interests are catered to, so that the best decision can, so that best decision can be taken, so that the best decision can be taken. Budget ke time pe you will see. Before budget, there are, no, this is term lobbying. There's a term called as lobbying. The term lobbying has come from what? Lobby hoti hai. Okay? So when before the budget, when there are decisions to be taken, people would be seen in the lobby. Whenever I find a chance, I'll go and talk to this minister, I'll go and talk to that minister and try to influence the policy making there. So pressure groups, lobbyists, they actually try to seek concessions from the government in the budget. So before budget, there are pre-budget talks and other things that happens. So here, it can be respected by saying that consensus-oriented decision making, some of the interest of the pressure groups के लिए पता होना चाहिए कि what are they looking forward. However, the final decision has to be taken by taking into consideration the welfare of all the community, all the societal members. Then write about the next point. So participation, accountability, rule of law, transparency, consensus oriented. Then write about the responsiveness. Agriculture. Agri-corruption. Anti-corruption, yes. Anti-corruption को criticize करना चाह रहे हो. Anti-corruption को criticize करना चाह रहे हो यानी corruption को promote करना चाह रहे हो. क्या लिखना है? कि corruption अच्छा होता है. फिर corruption का कोई सवाल बनता है. ठीक, जैसे कि ठीक है, बताइए आगे. जब रूमर है तो क्यों लिखना चाह रहे हो पेपर में? ऑब्जेक्टिविटी कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो रही है. Don't write unless and until you have a credible source. Don't write. Shows lack of objectivity, shows lack of rationality, shows lack of scientific temper. Rather, you can be tested. There is a question that has come. When you say the word, there is a case study that has come. I think I would have discussed this. The case study was about corruption only. There were 3 viewpoints about the corruptions that were given. Have I told you that corruption is seen as greasing the wheel of economy? This is one viewpoint. Okay, corruption के बारे में एक 4-5 लाइन लिखी थी कि corruption ऐसा होता है, corruption भी होता है, abuse of power होता है, and there are multiple views, multiplicity of the viewpoints towards corruption. Analyze these viewpoints. The first point, corruption is seen as greasing the wheel of the economy. Second point, if there is indulgence, what is your viewpoint on this? Corruption is seen as greasing the wheel of the economy. क्या लिखोगे? हाँ, सही बात है. ग्रीस तो करता है व्हील ऑफ इकोनॉमी, काम जल्दी हो जाता है. 10 रुपए दो या हरी पत्ती दो या लाल पत्ती दो, आपका 10 मिनट का काम 1 सेकंड में हो जाएगा. यू कैन नॉट राइट दिस. यू शुड रादर राइट द if you want to analyze this, you could write that such an attitude in the long run can lead to coercive corruptions. If you want to grease the wheel of the economy, it is also about dereliction of the duty. तुम्हारा काम है डॉक्यूमेंट पास करना. किस चीज के पैसे ले रहे हो? You are being paid by the government for that, and the government pays you through my taxes. I work, I sweat, and government takes taxes from me. So you get the money from the taxes I pay. So why are you demanding extra payment, greasing the wheel of the economy? It is your duty. You are inefficient if you are not doing it. So you will have to analyze like this. You cannot say that rumors, lack of objectivity दिखता है. Second viewpoint जो पूछा था, that if one person cannot make a difference, one person cannot make a difference if the whole institution is corrupt, then yes, this was like a friend gives you an advice that one person cannot make a difference as the whole institution is corrupt. Analyze this. How will you analyze this? हाँ थोड़ी बोलोगे कि हाँ एक आदमी कुछ नहीं करता. लिखो in the court of conscience, the law of majority has no place. There is one higher court than the court of law, that is the court of conscience. Do you think if you take corruption, you will have a happy conscience? The court of conscience, the law of majority have no place. Even if it means one person making a difference, it has to be that one person. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. यही तो सब बातें हैं कि आप वो चेंज बनो जो आप देखना चाहते हो. And in the long term, in the long run, try to influence the people, persuade the people to leave corruption. होगा नहीं होगा बात अलग है, कर पाओगे नहीं कर पाओगे ये अलग से क्रिटिसिज्म है, पर करोगे तो यही ना. ये थोड़ी बोलोगे हाँ आई विल बिकम हैंड एंड ग्लव इन करप्शन. That is not what is, that is the aim. तो पेपर चेकर बनने नहीं देगा, बनने नहीं देगा, क्योंकि पेपर ही एथिक्स का है. The whole idea is what is your attitude. अब आप बोलोगे नहीं मैं कर नहीं सकूंगा मैम, क्या आइडियल बात कर रहे हो, तो फिर ठीक है कुछ और लिख के आना पेपर में, फिर से देना, फिर से देना, फिर से देना, फिर से देना. पेपर में तो यही लिखोगे और ये होना भी ऐसे ही चाहिए ना. It is not that this is something that is only to be written in paper. What will you write? You will have to write this only, and you should write this only. What is the con? What is the con of indifference of the people? This is one quote that generally is there. The indifference of good people not taking part in politics is the bad people acquiring the politics. If you are indifferent to politics and you are a good person, the resultant you will be ruled by a bad person. यही तो बोला था उसमें भी कि अगर आप अच्छे और आप रूल नहीं कर सकते हो महाभारत में, then the con तो है कि फिर you rule by the bad people. And statistics no, 30,000 people. If I have to take into consideration Lok Sabha strength, Rajya Sabha strength, local self-governance strength, government department strength, and all the state legislatures strength, 30,000, 50,000 people. Can't we find 50,000 good people from 60 lakh people? Statistically speaking, what is the ratio? It is not just those who are acquiring position of the power. It is you, it is me, that is making up the moral fabric of the society, of the nation. A nation is not powerful because it has nuclear weapons. A nation is powerful because whether it is consisting of an ethical individuals or not. Look at Japan. Look at their moral framework. Look at the developed world. They are not developed world just because they had something. Their ethics is like that. The work ethics, the ecosystem is like that. So no debate about that. No rumors to be written. Second ARC ने कुछ बोला है तो वो लिखो, क्योंकि that's a credible source. And very nicely write if second ARC has said. I am not saying second ARC is saying. Write about it. Participation done, accountability done, rule of law done, transparency and consensus oriented. Write about responsiveness. Responsiveness. It is about proactive governance. You are responding to things. It is proactive, being proactive to the concerns of citizens. Being proactive to the concerns of citizens. And delivering a solution. You are responding to what? To the problems of citizens. Right? You are responding to the and you are coming up with solutions. So being responsive is being proactive. For what? To the concerns of the citizens. Example क्या लिख सकते हैं responsiveness के? Right to Service Act. You have Right to Service Act. You have MG Narega, wherein it is said that a citizen would get the 100 days of job. Okay, if the person does not have job throughout the year or for some duration of time. So what the example can be? Right to Service Act. Right to Service Act. In Right to Service Act, if the service has not been delivered on time, if service has not been delivered on time, then you will be compensated for every day delay in the service delivery. हाँ, yes, बैंक में होता है, correct. अगर RTI में भी अगर आपको information नहीं मिली है, then there is fine that is to be imposed, 10 rupees fine per day, and that has to be imposed on PIO. This is about, this act has not yet been passed entirely, Right to Service Act, but the aim was the compensation. There is compensation for the loss of the time. Compensation for the loss of the time. That is compensation for the loss of the time. Compensation for compensation per day due to delay in service delivery. Due to delay in the service delivery. Harshit, I don't think that's a very appropriate question. I'm not even able to relate to that question. Is civil disobedience currently in India, especially traffic rules, is because of the kind of freedom struggle we had? Harshit, I did not understand the question. Okay, responsiveness. Responsiveness may write about the other example, MG Narega. MG Narega. Demand for work. Demand for work has to be met. Demand for the work. Somebody has asked for the work, demand for the work has to be met, or there has to be 15 days of compensation. Otherwise compensation. 15 days of compensation. तो प्रोएक्टिव है, अगर सिटीजन ने कुछ डिमांड किया है, उनकी प्रॉब्लम्स है, तो आपको सॉल्यूशन देना पड़ेगा और उनकी कंसर्न्स को ध्यान में रखना पड़ेगा. सॉरी, ई गवर्नेंस, लोक अदालत, आईटी रूल्स, रिस्पॉन्स, सारी गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी आपकी प्रॉब्लम्स को रिस्पॉन्ड ही तो करने के लिए है. ठीक है, जो सरल फॉर्म है, फाइलिंग ऑफ द इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न हैज बीन वेरी tedious and the tough exercise. What government came up with? They came up with a form, saral form, file, 1-page form. All the, you can write any other schemes. Saral form to file ITR. Now anybody can file ITR. Okay. The next point, the next one, equity and inclusiveness. Equity and inclusiveness. I'll just write the definition of it. Equity and inclusiveness. Vulnerable groups should have an opportunity to, the vulnerable groups or the marginalized groups should have an opportunity to, to improve the status of living. To improve the status of living. This is about positive affirmation. Positive affirmation. Reservations हो गए. Equal should be treated equally. Unequals should not be treated equally. This is also about the differential principle of John Rawls. Differential principle about socio-economic equity. The next one is effectiveness and efficiency. Effectiveness and efficiency. Effectiveness and efficiency. Your institution should be efficient. Your institution should be effective. So don't simply implement the policy, implement them in a most efficient manner. And see that the policies that you are implementing are also producing results. Efficient bhi hai or effective bhi hai. So it's the institution should produce results. Effective means the institution should produce results. Policy making or the institution should produce results. Effective होना चाहिए. And efficiency का मतलब है more output and with the less use of resources. More output with less use of resource. Minimum government, maximum governance. Efficiency की बात है. Minimum government, maximum governance. कैसे इंश्योर कर सकते हैं? How can you ensure effectiveness and efficiency? Can I go for zero-based budgeting? ये term सुना है, zero-based budgeting. That every time in the budget, when you have to give money, right? So, for example, let's say I have to give money to the Ministry of Industry. Now, last time I gave them 100 crore rupees. So this time, and they spent around 90 crore rupees. So like this time I should give them, probably because there has been escalation, I should give them 95 crore rupees. 90 crore rupees spent last time, 95 crore rupees should be given to them. I am trying to give money on the basis of what was given last time. So my decision making is not based on how much does the industry need today, what would be the result if I give them this much amount of money today, why do they need this today. तो इसको हटाने के लिए what was happening this, because of this the ministries that traditionally get more of amount of money will continue to get more amount of money. And always understand, none of the ministries, they will not spend the money that has been given to them. If they have not spent it throughout the year, March के time पे पूरा पैसा खर्च कर देंगे, right? But if I have given 100 crore to ministry, if they have spent 80 crores till let's say January, in the month of February and March they will spend the entire 20 crore, because that affects their next year budget allocations also. So इसको March rush भी कहते हैं. If you would have heard about this term, March rush. March rush means the amount of money would be entirely spent by the ministries, whatever has been allocated to them. What was happening is, if I follow traditional budgeting, the ministries that they get more amount of money will continue to get more amount of money. And if the ministries that get the less amount of money will continue to get less amount of money. Rather than this, if this happens, then you cannot actually expect a change, entire change, choti ministries se. What was decided that you should not do traditional budgeting. Rather, you should go for a zero-based budgeting. That means every year calculate what is the need of the industry, why does the industry need this, what amount of money can be, what amount of money do I have, and how do I ration this money into the various industries. This industry probably needs 100 crore, has demanded 100 crore. But I think as per my wisdom, at zero-based budgeting, even if I give 80 crore, that's fine. Traditionally, it got 200 crore, that's fine, doesn't matter. What should be done today? That is, you are trying to allocate the resource, you are trying to budget the resource on zero base. There is no base. Past year ka base nahi hai. उसको बोलते हैं जीरो बेस्ड बजटिंग. आज मुझे बताओ, how much of money do you need? Today you tell me why do you need this much of money. Today you tell me what can be done. This is the amount of resource that I have. So I am trying to make decision on the basis of efficiency, not on the basis of what has been traditionally given to you. Okay? So it's like, please, father, please increase my pocket money. Till when I was still 5 years of age, you used to give me 50 rupees per month. Now I have become 7 years of age. So now you give me 100 crore. Or you give me 100 rupees. So my father will say, why you want 100 rupees? Now let me see what is your requirement. Okay, if your requirement is, okay, you have turned into 7th class, probably you need to take 20 rupees more of rickshaw, so I'll give you not 50, I'll give you 70. Why should I give you more? Because in the past, you have been got 50 rupees, now you want 100 rupees. What is the need of the hour? Tell me that. So don't tell me kitna pehle milta tha. Aaj ki need kya hai ye batao. That is zero-based budgeting. Okay, you can talk about zero-based budgeting in the efficiency and effectiveness. You can also mention about the promotion of merit. Now, traditionally the promotions has been on the basis of seniority, right? If you do 5 years of service, you will be promoted to this. If you do 10 years of service, you will be promoted to that. If you do 15 years of service, you will be promoted to that, on the basis of seniority and the number of services that number of years that you have given in the service. However, today we talk about, no, the promotion should not be based on seniority and the number of services. The promotion should be based on the performance-based promotion. Your incentives, what incentive you get, should be based on merit. So what are we promoting? We are promoting efficiency. We are promoting effectiveness. These are some of the policies, measures that you can be used for promotion of efficiency and effectiveness. The best performer should win. That's the idea. What will it will happen? It will induce competition. Everybody would strive for doing the best. And who gets benefited? The citizens get benefited, right? No, Harshit, I got your question right now. No, Harshit, nahi, aise nahi bole, please. Gandhi ji did not say that you should disobey every law. Gandhi ji mentioned that you should disobey a law that is an unjust law. That you feel that is an unjust law. He says that, Gandhi ji mentioned that. I consider it as the highest duty of the citizen to disobey an unjust law. And therefore, he started civil disobedience movement. Civil disobedience movement was started against what? Was started against salt tax, imposition of the salt tax by the British. And he said that this is an unjust law, and he said it is the highest duty of a citizen to disobey the unjust law. And this is also one statement in Hindi. He said that I had asked for food. And they had thrown stones at me. मैंने रोटी मांगी थी, मुझे कंकड़ फेंक के मिले हैं. And then he started off civil disobedience movement. So Harshit is asking me, ma'am, many people, they violate traffic laws. So is it a legacy of civil disobedience movement? No, it's not a legacy of civil disobedience movement, Harshit. Please don't use it like that. Please write examples to promote effectiveness and efficiency. Steps taken to promote effectiveness and efficiency. Effectiveness and efficiency. You have the promotion based on performance. Promotion based on performance. Promotion based on performance. You have zero-based budgeting. Zero-based budgeting. You have the promotion of merit. Promotion of merit. The promotion of the merit. So we've seen the 8 steps, the 8 values that World Bank has mentioned: participation, accountability, responsiveness, transparency, consensus-oriented decision-making, effectiveness and efficiency, equity and inclusiveness, and the rule of the law. So this 8 values. What does they mean? What is the definition? What are the examples? And what is the usage? What will it actually bring in the administration? You can interchangeably use the points. Try to use varied points. Do not try to use the same point always. Moving on. This was about good governance. Write about what are the symptoms of poor governance. How do you know that the governance is poor? What are the symptoms of poor governance? What are the symptoms of poor governance? Okay, instability. Huh? Lawlessness. Basically, lawlessness, protests, dissents. Lack of rule of law. Violation of rule of law. Violation of the rule of law. Increasing inequalities, yes. 10% of the people in India, they own around 60% of the wealth, 60 to 70% of the wealth. So this is a poor governance because it is about lack of inclusivity. Anything else? Lack of policy implementation कैसे होगा? Proper implementation नहीं होगा. Lack of, as in you can say that the policy implementation does not respect the values of the constitution. ठीक है? Yes. So please write. Increase in the corruption. If there is increase in the corruption, shows that you're corrupt. देखो rule of law क्या था? What it was that? PARTCEER. ठीक है? ये सब good governance है. पार्टिसिपेशन करो तो गुड गवर्नेंस है, नहीं पार्टिसिपेशन करोगे तो क्या हो जाएगा? पुअर गवर्नेंस. अकाउंटेबिलिटी मैकेनिज्म अगर काम नहीं करे तो क्या हो जाएगा? पुअर गवर्नेंस. रूल ऑफ लॉ काम नहीं कर रहा है, रूल ऑफ लॉ की जगह पे आप नेपोटिज्म कर रहे हो, फेवरेटिज्म कर रहे हो, तो ये सब क्या है? पुअर गवर्नेंस. ट्रांसपेरेंसी की जगह पे यू आर रिस्पेक्टिंग सीक्रेसी, द इंफॉर्मेशन इज कंसिडर्ड एज मोर सेक्रेड. That is poor governance. So all the opposite of this you can write in the poor governance. So please write what are the symptoms of the poor governance. The first point, you have the increase in corruption. Increase in the corruption. Failure to establish rule of law. Non-transparency. Inclusiveness की जगह पे you are talking about authoritarianism. Failure of the accountability mechanisms. Failure of accountability mechanisms. Yes, increasing inequality. Increasing inequality. And concentration of power and money. Concentration of power and money in the hands of few. In hands of a few. Yes, yes. CPPC, criminalization of politics and the politicization of the criminals. Criminalization of politics and politicization of criminals. And politicization of criminals. That means criminals, they are getting into politics, whereas almost every politician has some or the criminal record. This is not said by me, this is said by Association of Democratic Reforms. ADR ne bol. I'm not saying this, Association of Democratic Reform. right? Some of the example of good governance, some of the examples of good governance in India, some example of GG, good governance in India. भी काफी सारे हमने डिस्कस भी कर लिए. DBT, very good. E-governance, 73rd, 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. It aimed at inclusivity, talked about participation, accountability, responsiveness. So you can talk about that also. So 73rd and 74th. You know what is 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment? Local self-governance. Panchayati Raj and your local bodies, urban local bodies. 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. The promotion of local self-governance and the urban local bodies. If you have heard this, PESA, suna ye? The Panchayat extension to schedule areas. You would have heard about this tribe, Schedule 6, Schedule 5, suna? Schedule 5, Schedule 6. Sevottam model. Sevottam model, that is excellence in service delivery. You go for excellence in service delivery. Seva Uttam model. Seva Uttam. SEVO TTAM. Sevottam model. Sevottam model means Seva means service, Uttam means excellence. Uttam, the best quality. So this is about excellence in the service delivery. It is about excellence in service delivery. The excellence in the service delivery. बाकी भी हैं RTI, Citizen Charter, Lok Adalat. ठीक है? These are, yes, Hema. They are also there. RTI, Citizen Charter, Lok Adalat, etc. Is it fine? So this was about the governance. What is governance? What is good governance? They have asked a question on good governance. They can also ask you about the 8 parameters of good governance. What are the 8 parameters? What is the definition? What is the importance of it? And what steps have been taken to promote good governance in India? What are the symptoms of the poor governance? Write about the next term called as ethical governance. The ethical governance. When the governance is based on values like compassion, integrity. When the governance is based on values, कौन सी values? Ethical values, जैसे कि compassion, जैसे कि integrity. Apart from PARTCE²R. Apart from the values of participation, accountability, responsiveness, transparency, consensus-oriented decision making, equity and inclusiveness, efficiency and effectiveness, and rule of law, responsiveness या rule of law. ठीक है, इसके अलावा मतलब ये तो चाहिए ही, प्लस you need the other values. You need the other values like integrity and compassion. You need integrity, compassion, probity. If I actually show this, this is governance. This is governance. Governance में सब कुछ. Some part of governance can be good governance. ठीक है. This is about participation, accountability, responsiveness, transparency. It can be a good governance. And in good governance, apart from good governance, you also have ethical governance. So this can be the ethical governance. आपको ये values तो चाहिए ही, साथ ही साथ आपको प्रोबिटी भी चाहिए, इंटीग्रिटी भी चाहिए, कंपैशन भी चाहिए, इम्पार्शियलिटी भी चाहिए, आपको बाकी सारी वैल्यूज भी चाहिए. ठीक है, दैट इज बियॉन्ड, वन स्टेप बियॉन्ड गुड गवर्नेंस इज योर ethical governance. Some governance can also be bad governance, and therefore not all the governance can be good governance. ज्यादा है ना बड़ा, ये तो हमको चाहिए ही, पार्टिसिपेशन, अकाउंटेबिलिटी, ट्रांसपेरेंसी, और भी वैल्यूज चाहिए. वैल्यूज लाइक आपको इंटीग्रिटी चाहिए, आपको प्रोबिटी चाहिए, आपको इम्पार्शियलिटी चाहिए. तो यहाँ पे है ना वो वैल्यूज. ये अगर PARTC ये है, ठीक है. Can I move on? Yes. Please write about what are the tools, one of the tools of the good governance. तो हम tools पे जा रहे हैं. सबसे important tool है citizen charter. सबसे important है citizen charter. So give the heading citizen charter. Citizen charter क्या होता है? Basically ये एक डॉक्यूमेंट है, एस्पिरेशनल डॉक्यूमेंट है, जो कि हर गवर्नमेंट के डिपार्टमेंट में रहना चाहिए. Every government department should have this document, should have something which tells that what is this government department for? What service does this department aim to give? What will happen if a service is not being met? What will happen if the service is being met but it is not of a good quality service? Okay, what is the grievance that a citizen can have and where can he go for the grievance redressal? कौन आपकी grievance को देखेगा? और अगर उसने आपकी ग्रीवेंस को एड्रेस नहीं किया है तो क्या पनिशमेंट होगी? तो ये सब कुछ एक डॉक्यूमेंट में रहता है. इसको हम बोलते हैं सिटीजन का चार्टर. एवरी गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट हैज टू हैव दिस. व्हाट डज इट एम एट प्रमोटिंग? इट एम्स एट प्रमोटिंग अकाउंटेबिलिटी. इट इज अबाउट बीइंग ट्रांसपेरेंट. इट इज अबाउट बीइंग रिस्पॉन्सिव. इट इज अबाउट हैविंग एफिशिएंसी एंड इक्विटी, इंक्लूसिवनेस. जो भी गुड गवर्नेंस के प्रिंसिपल्स हैं वो आप सिटीजन चार्टर की मदद से कर सकते हैं. अच्छा डॉक्यूमेंट है, बहुत बढ़िया बात है. और व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम? द प्रॉब्लम इज इंग्लिश में दे दिया. व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम? 50 साल से अपडेट ही नहीं हुआ है. व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम? ग्रीवेंस रिड्रेसल वाले ऑफिसर का जो नंबर है वो लैंडलाइन का, और लैंडलाइन बंद पड़ी है. ठीक है. व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम? सिटीजन को डॉक्यूमेंट ही नहीं है, दिया ही नहीं हुआ है गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट से. सो ऑन पेपर वेरी गुड, टुडे आई एम डूइंग दिस, बट देन देयर आर प्रॉब्लम्स इन दी implementation of it. So citizen charter, please write, it is a document. It is a document that outlines. It is a document that outlines, outline करता है, that outline the commitment, that outlines the commitment of a citizen, that outline the commitment to a citizen. क्या citizen को commitment है? That outline the commitment to a citizen of a public body. for any public body, what is the outline, what is the commitment to the citizen with respect to what the service की क्या service देंगे, with respect to the service, with respect to the standard of service, the time frame of the service, कब तक मिलेगी service, the time frame of the service delivery, along with the grievance redressal mechanism, along with the grievance redressal mechanism. It is a document which outline the commitment to the citizen. क्या commitment है मेरा citizen को? Commitment to the citizen किसका? Of a government department with respect to what? What is the service? What should be the standard of service? When will you get the service? The time frame of the service, and what will happen? What should you do in case you are not getting the services? What is the grievance redressal mechanism? ठीक है, it was first given by United Kingdom, first articulate, पहली हमारा innovation नहीं है ये, it was first articulated in UK. First time used in United Kingdom. What is the objective? The objective of the Citizen Charter, the aim of the Citizen Charter is to empower the citizen, is to empower the citizen, is to empower the citizen with respect to, in relation to public service delivery, in relation to public service delivery. Upholds the principle, it upholds the principle. कौन राजा है? It is citizen that is the king. Citizen is the king, and the government department has to serve the citizen. Citizen is the king. And government has to serve the citizen, has to serve the citizen. It's like a menu card. क्या सर्विस रहेगी, कैसे स्टैंडर्ड की रहेगी, कितने टाइम पे मिलेगा? So yes sir, what should we serve you? What can you do in case? हाँ door to door service कर रहे हैं ना, everything they want to go for door to door service delivery, door to door service delivery, right? What is the importance of Citizen Charter? What is the importance of Citizen Charter? बताओ, अब तो पता होना चाहिए क्या करेगा. What is the importance of Citizen Charter, or what is the benefits because of Citizen Charter? Promote awareness, ठीक है. Benefits due to Citizen Charter. One is CC Citizen Charter. सबसे पहले क्या है? Can it uphold all the principles of good governance? Participation, accountability, responsiveness, transparency. सारे principle uphold करता है. Upholds all PART सब कुछ uphold करेगा. Uphold करेगा ये सारे values. Participation, accountability, responsiveness, transparency, consensus oriented decision making, effectiveness, efficiency, equity, inclusiveness, and rule of law. Is it fine, all of you? The second one is it creates an informed citizenry. Awareness create karta hai. It creates, and see, why am I telling you all this in one point is, when we ask you in papers what is the benefit of Citizen Charter, आप 5 point लिखते हो. Promote participation, promote accountability, promote responsiveness, promote transparency. try to diversify your points. All that point can be summed up into one. It upholds values. Values like this values. And don't simply write this. वो समझेगा नहीं examiner की कौन सी value लिखी है ये. ठीक है? So some of you giving answers and telling uphold endocity. क्या क्या value है ये? ठीक है? तो अच्छे से पूरी values 3 ही लिख के आओ, but वहीं पे एक ही point में लिख के आओ. ठीक है? Create informed citizenry. Create informed citizenry. It creates informed citizenry. It reduces the trust deficit. Reduces the trust deficit of the public. Reduces the trust deficit of the public against the government. Against the government departments. Trust deficit कम करेगा. It reduces corruption. And also increases the convenience of the citizen. Increases the convenience of the citizen. ठीक है, तो सिटीजन चार्टर क्या है? डॉक्यूमेंट है. इट इज अ डॉक्यूमेंट दैट टेल्स अस व्हाटएवर service, standard of service, time frame of the service, the grievance redressal mechanism. What is the importance of it? सारे values सिटीजन का ट्रस्ट अपहोल्ड करेगा, टाइमली डिलीवरी ऑफ सर्विस देगा, करप्शन नहीं होएगा. ठीक है, सिटीजन को अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करेगा. दैट्स द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ द सिटीजन चार्टर. ठीक है, देन प्लीज राइट. तो व्हाट आर द प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ सिटीजन चार्टर? व्हाट आर द प्रिंसिपल्स? Give the heading principles of citizen charter. The principles of a citizen charter. Principle is quality of service delivery. कैसी सर्विस दूं? बेस्ट सर्विस दूं. The principle is quality of service delivery. The quality of service delivery. First principle, the best quality service possible. Give citizen the choice. Citizen को choice दो. Give citizen the choice. Set better standards. Give value to taxpayer. Give value to the taxpayer. Transparency. Transparency of the rules. Transparency of the rule. And accountability of the individual and the organization. Accountability of the individual and organization. Accountability of the individual and organization. सेट करो सर्विस डिलीवरी के स्टैंडर्ड्स, उसको कंटिन्यूसली बेटर करते जाओ. आप रूल ऑफ लॉ को ट्रांसपेरेंट रखें. रूल को ट्रांसपेरेंट रखें कि सबको पता होना चाहिए. जो सिटीजन, जो गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट इंपॉर्टेंट है, जो इंप्लीमेंट करना चाह रहा है, उसकी अकाउंटेबिलिटी फिक्स होनी चाहिए. ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की भी अकाउंटेबिलिटी फिक्स होनी चाहिए. और ये सब क्यों कर रहे हैं? बिकॉज वी वांट टू गिव वैल्यू टू द टैक्स पेयर. अ पर्सन हैज पेड टैक्स. I have to give them service delivery. So he has already given tax, so we should give value to the taxpayer. Okay, and who has the choice? The king has the choice. Who is the king? The citizen is the king. So I have to give the citizen a choice. I have to give the better service. I have to keep on improving my service. I have to give him value for the tax that he has paid. It should be transparent, rule of law होना चाहिए, and there should be accountability of the person or the organization involved. It's like simple. How do you remember the steps? I remember the steps by, I don't know how far you will be able to relate to this, but still I will tell. I relate this to service delivery. Suppose I go to a hotel, right? When I go to a restaurant, what do I get? I get a menu card. So I know that this is the menu card. In the menu card, I know that what is the value of it. I judge the restaurant on the basis of the service that is given, the time taken, the amount, the food that has been served to me. And I also judge on the basis कि मेरे पैसे का अच्छा utilization हुआ है कि नहीं. अगर अच्छा नहीं हुआ है या अच्छा हुआ है, I appreciate or I tell them that this is good or not. So there is an accountability. The same thing, the citizen should be given a choice, should be given a menu card. There should be quality of service delivery, right? There should be, and they should always aim for giving the better service. One, value पता होना चाहिए मेन्यू कार्ड का, ट्रांसपेरेंटली पता होना चाहिए, ऐसे नहीं कि कटा हुआ है, लिखा हुआ है, क्या लिखा हुआ है पता नहीं. एंड जिसने सर्व किया है उसका अकाउंटेबिलिटी है, रेस्टोरेंट का अकाउंटेबिलिटी है या फिर मैनेजर का अकाउंटेबिलिटी है या वेटर का अकाउंटेबिलिटी. That's the same thing. We are giving service to the citizen. So you should know about the service, the time of the service, the value of the service, set standards of the service, always aim at the better standards. Accountability should be fixed and there should be value to the taxpayers' money. This is how you would make things easy for you to remember. So ये पूछ लेगा अगर principal या कभी if you have to draw in a diagram of citizen charter, you should be able to remember these 5, 6, 7 points. Okay, then write about the issues in the citizen charter. We've discussed that also. Just write about the issues in the citizen charter. Give the heading issues in the citizen charter. What are the issues in the citizen charter? The first one, they are not updated regularly. They are not updated regularly. They are not updated regularly. The second one, there is lack of awareness among the citizen. Lack of awareness among the citizen. There is lack of awareness among the citizen. They are not legally enforceable. People cannot put you to jail if you have not put citizen charter in your department. They are not legally enforceable. There is a lack of consultation. There is lack of consultation with the citizens, while framing citizen charter. You are not consulting the citizen while framing the citizen charter. They are not prepared in a vernacular language. They are not prepared in vernacular language. Not prepared in the vernacular language. The details of the grievance redressal officer. The details of the grievance redressal officer. The details of the grievance redressal. RED. RASSAL. Redressal officer is not given, or the grievance officer. The details of the grievance officer is not given in citizen charter. Okay, तो आप language, vernacular language को नहीं, you don't use vernacular language, you don't consult the people. Even if you are telling about the service, what if the service is not provided? You don't give me the detail of the grievance redressal mechanism. What do I do if there is no grievance redressal officer? They are not updated regularly and they are not even legally enforceable. We cannot put you to some department actions or to the legal actions. Department actions हो सकता है, but legal actions तो नहीं होगा. Then the citizen charter, therefore, citizen charter, they are implemented in letter and not in spirit. Citizen charter is implemented in letter, is implemented in letter, is implemented in letter and not in spirit, and not in spirit. Okay. What can be the solution for improving them? क्या करें? इसके opposite लिखे. Prepare in local language, consult people, proactive delivery of the service and the number of the grievance redressal officer. The opposite, update regularly. The solutions, what are the solutions? The opposite of what are the problems? The first is the formulation should be the formulation of a citizen charter. Formulation of citizen charter should be a decentralized activity. Should be a decentralized activity. Should be a decentralized activity. Consult the citizens. Consult the citizens and give citizen charter wide publicity. Give citizen charter a wide publicity. Citizen charter को publicity दे. Legal backing करे. There should be legal backing. It should be made enforceable. There should be a periodic evaluation. There should be periodic evaluation of citizen charter. It should be framed in vernacular language. Be aimed in the vernacular language. Second ARC ने बोला है. Second ARC has mentioned about second ARC has mentioned about the user feedback. User feedback should be incorporated. Should be, that is, citizens' feedback should be incorporated. So these are the solutions. What have we done today? Today we started off with the revision of the previous topic, rules, regulation, laws, conscience as a source of decision making. Then we moved on to understanding that then we revised about accountability. Then we moved on to understanding about good governance, good governance, the principles of good governance, ethical governance. One of the tool of ethical and good governance is citizen charter. So what is citizen charter? What are the benefits of citizen charter? What are the principles of citizen charter and what are the issues in the citizen charter and what could be the solution for the same. So from tomorrow we'll start off with Sevottam model and the other ethics in public administration. So I'll wind up for today. Thank you so much. Thank you for being cooperative and patient. All of you. Bye-bye.